Boston Bruins Hockey on NESN is brought to you by Subaru of New England, by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com, by Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin', and by your New England Ford dealers. Bruins come into this game in first place in the Atlantic Division by virtue of having 2 games in hand over the Tampa Bay Lightning, a team which has pulled even in points with Boston at 63 apiece. LA is in third place in the ridiculously strong Pacific.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Home Satan, that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the brave and the home of the brave.
The 191st consecutive sellout settling into TD Garden, another 17,565. Today's starting goalies brought to you by your local New England Audi dealers. Experience Audi Quattro all-wheel drive today. Jonathan Quick has beaten the Bruins once already this season. He's from Hamden, Connecticut, born in Milford, went to Avon Old Farms, and a couple of years at the University of Massachusetts. And Chad Johnson gets the start for Boston. He is unbeaten at home with a sub-2 goals against average and a .931 save percentage. The Bruins are wearing their Men in Black alternate uniforms. 5-2 wearing the third sweaters this season. The game is on. The Bruins playing back-to-back after a pretty good showing at Chicago, a game that they lost in a shootout yesterday.
Yeah, they really played the style of hockey that they wanted to play, Jack. There were some opportunities for Chicago. That's a talented team. They have good speed through the neutral zone, and they did generate some real good opportunities for themselves against the Bruins in that area of the game. However, the Bruins played their game and generated more scoring chances by playing a heavy forecheck, good support from tops of the circles down in the offensive end.
Dwight King for LA closes the shot, ricochets off of Kevin Miller, off high glass and all the way back. Voynoff's shot goes off Carl Soderberg, who had a pretty strong game yesterday as well. And Kevin Miller continues to grow as a young defenseman.
Miller and Bartkowski in particular yesterday and in Dallas played strong games for the Bruins, and they need that kind of performance, that kind of effort in the absence of Seidenberg, and now add McQuaid to the mix as well.
Yeah, Adam McQuaid not available today, so Zach Trotman will be out there wearing number 62. Trotman wore 42 in his debut with the Bruins. Boychuk. Bergeron gets it out to center. Johnny Boychuk turning 30 yesterday. Zdeno Chara goes D-to-D to Boychuk with Carter and Richards chasing. Riley Smith skips past Dustin Brown and whacks it through the corner. Quick out, gives it to Jake Muzzin. Has a little trouble from Smith. Gets the puck to Brown, a very physical player who will play on the edge and tends to inspire his teammates. There's Smith stealing it from Doughty right in front and getting a point-blank chance.
Well, this line continues to set the pace for the Bruins, certainly in the offensive and forechecking categories. Their layers in the offensive zone have been real good. A responsible third man. The minute Bergeron recognizes Marchand has an opportunity to get back and replace him as the third man, he then attacks. And all of a sudden you have almost an unforced, there is some pressure, but almost an unforced turnover and a chance for Riley Smith at the top of the crease.
Robin Regehr snaps it rides the dasher. Boychuk hoists the backhand right back around. Regehr changes edges, gives it forward to Fratton, and Krug caves him in. Now Krug in a battle along the boards with Regehr. Justin Williams gets it back to Voinov. Williams returns it to the D. Mike Richards over the line, the shot off Krug's stick. Richards fans on a centering attempt. Krug jams down low. Krejci wiggles it past Fratton to the far side. Lucic looks to headman the puck but can't get it through Fratton's stick cleanly. Voinov D to Regehr off the boards. Fratton stabs it ahead, but Krejci with good back pressure disrupts the rush. Trotman to Bartkowski to McGinley. Fires it all the way around. The Bruins looking for a little bit more goal production from McGinley. Not just about the way he's playing. They need some goals. Jordan Nolan gets it in deep. Kyle Clifford following against Trotman, who sends it around the boards. Here's Clifford again, shielding from Trotman's bump. Clifford all the way out to the blue line, rotates it down. Jordan Nolan trying to tear loose. He is the son of Ted Nolan, the interim coach of the Buffalo Sabres. Willie Mitchell to Alec Martinez. And Fraser gets it deep. Bartkowski cuts past the short post. Gives the puck up to Campbell, who had a couple of tough chances yesterday in Chicago. Neither one would bounce his way. Boychuk with good pursuit against Trevor Lewis. Boychuk digs it out in front of the Zamboni doors, but he's got Jarrett Stoll all over him. Muzzin around through the corner. Now Krug pursues with Paille coming back. Paille pops it up and it comes right to Lewis. Lewis comes out the near side of Johnson's goal. Back to Jake Muzzin. Snaps it toward goal and it goes wide stick side. Paille takes the hit from King to give it to Krug. Krug doesn't get anything on it. And Boychuk with a saving poke check in front. Now he knocks down Doughty's long wrist shot with his leg.
Yeah, just to finish a thought on Campbell opportunities yesterday afternoon. Obviously the most glaring one was that 2-on-1 in overtime. Bartkowski out of the penalty box, an ineffective 4-on-3 by Chicago with high-end talent on the ice, Jack. Real stationary in their 4-on-3. And Boston took full advantage to kill that penalty off, and then Bartkowski tried to find Campbell and just missed his stick.
Daryl Sutter, more than 1,000 games behind NHL benches. He has been successful just about everywhere he has gone. His players love playing for him, as Claude Julien's players love playing for him. Coaches that meet with success, it seems, and maybe it's only my perception, but it seems they're getting a little bit longer rope than they used to back when you were a player, Brick. It seemed that even very successful coaches, if things would turn south for 10 or 15 games in the middle of a season, sometimes they get fired just for effect. They got a delayed offside here.
Yeah, I think about my experience playing for the Boston Bruins. I played for 3 different head coaches in a short period of time, I mean, for a variety of reasons. Terry O'Reilly and Mike Milbury and Rick Bowness. But you're right. You know, the joke at one time, believe it or not, you talk to Harry Neal or guys north of the border, certainly, was that, because the Bruins were going through coaches so quickly, they needed 2 golf courses to have alumni golf tournament.
Krug swivels it around to the far side. Fratton waiting there. Boychuk gives him a good bump and then jams the puck forward. Lucic, the dart to McGinley. The shot saved by Quick, and he gobbles up the rebound. Milan Lucic's passing has reached just about the highest level. There aren't too many in the game that can combine his power and his touch.
So if you're going to get open in your own zone and you're the winger, which Milan Lucic is able to do, find some open space, understand where that puck is going to come from, and get that puck in a passing spot as quickly as you possibly can while you're moving your feet. Keep the play moving. If you have ice, take it, but have that puck in a passing spot on the blade of your stick with your head up. And he finds McGinley wing to wing, tape to tape.
Kyle Clifford muscles it out to the red line and slings it in behind Zach Trotman. Trotman gets good body position and willingly takes the hit along the end boards. Now Williams gets underneath Spooner and wins that puck battle. Turns back to the wall, tries to lose Spooner. That's pretty hard to do. Spooner's a terrific skater. Soderberg can't clear the zone, though. Martinez's shot stuck in the glove of Chad Johnson.
The Behind the Beat cameras are getting ready because AT&T and HTC One want to know what you want to see in an upcoming episode of Behind the Beat, presented by Alex and Ani. Share your idea using hashtag Behind the Beat on Twitter, and it could be featured as a future segment of the show.
Can't involve Brick and me. That's right out. Jarrett Stoll over the dot, and Bergeron wins the faceoff. You get the feeling Bergeron's especially determined. He was 14-12 on faceoffs at LA, which is satisfying for most. Here's Trevor Lewis closing the shot, save, juicy rebound. Boychuk knocks it back into the pads of Chad Johnson. Bergeron 14-12 at the faceoff dot on the 9th of January in the first meeting of these two teams. But Stoll that day, 18-5 on faceoffs, an unbelievable day, and he was one of the best players on the ice.
Yeah, Bergeron started the game. Nice little bounce there on the backhand by Chara. Passed quick, but he started the game with a different line and won that opening faceoff.
Dwight King feathers the backhand to Drew Doughty, slings it into the legs of Lewis. Tell you how Daryl Sutter has the flexibility. Well, here's a chance for Marchand, but Miller's pass wiggles on by. The flexibility that Daryl Sutter has with his lineup. Here's Marchand interrupting that again, and good for him. Carter gives it away to McKinley, spins, and the puck springs off his forehand. McKinley works through the corner. Regehr staples him in. Kopitar up the wall for Brown, and he gets it out to center. But Trevor Lewis was centering the fourth line in the first meeting of these two teams, and now he's the second line right wing. But that's moving guys up and down the lineup, and that's top six quality in your bottom six forwards in the first meeting of these two teams. Jonathan Quick makes the grab, and they'll go to the first break 0-0. Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Patrice Bergeron, an elite face-off man since the start of the 2011-2012 season. He is number one in the NHL at the face-off dot. He's number 2 in the league in this regular season, trailing only the little big man, Vladimir Sobotka, ex-Bruin and now with the St. Louis Blues. Off this face-off, it's underneath Krejci. Iginla finds it, brings it back to Chara, who has to play it on the backhand and tosses the puck into the corner. Drew Doughty after it, up for Brown. He spins around, can't find it. Kopitar does and feeds Carter. Carter snapshot, and Brick, take us inside the snapshot, because Jeff Carter has as good a release as it seems anybody in the game.
Well, number one, you have to work on it, certainly, and he does that. He shoots a share of pucks, but if you can take a pass like he just got from Kopitar in stride and let a shot go like that off your right hip, try to use the defenseman of the screen, and he can score from about 50 feet with that snapshot. But you don't want to move the hands down the blade of the stick if you can. You try to keep him in that position. If you can get enough on it, it doesn't allow the goaltender to read shot early enough. And sometimes you can beat him with the quickness of the release.
Riley Smith with a Krejci-like move, spinning just inside the line, but the pass comes back to the neutral zone, and Willie Mitchell starts it out. Bergeron with a steal, but couldn't flip up the boards for Marchand. Kyle Clifford into the Boston zone. Williams goes into the corner. Miller gives him a pretty hard wrap, and the puck comes free. Marchand brings it up the wall past Martinez. Good layers as Muzzin takes it north and south to Clifford. Hammers it off the high glass behind Johnson and to his right. Bartkowski around for Smith, tries to jack it into the middle. It bounces right into the goal mouth, and Bartkowski swivels it to Marchand. Bergeron at the red line, trickles it toward Quick. The Bruins will change out. Alec Martinez to Jake Muzzin. A little trouble from Daniel Paille. And Thornton comes over and belts Fratton. The puck free to Trotman. Now Bartkowski to Paille. Paille risks it in around the boards. Quick, very fast to the puck, but gives it away to Thornton in the corner. He was a little off balance and bumped backward up against the dasher. Paille comes over to put the hit on Fratton on the far side, and Campbell in support knocks it off off a King. So the Bruins get an attacking zone faceoff.
No, obviously coming into this afternoon's game, Jack, you had the sense that whichever team was going to win the majority of the battles in this hockey game, given the way the two teams are constructed, given the way the two teams believe that this is how you win, certainly in the postseason, was going to win the hockey game here this afternoon. That being said, keep an eye on the battles along the walls, in front of the net, in the cycle game.
Thornton from Paille and just wide. But these teams are about at the midpoint of the first period. 0-0 should come as no surprise. 101 first periods between these two teams if you add them together this year. And between these two teams, they have allowed 51 first period goals. 23 by LA, which is the fewest in the league. 28 by Boston, the fourth fewest. Krug wrists it off the far board. Soderberg scoops it up. It comes cross ice off Eriksson's leg. He goes wing to wing. Spooner takes it on a bounce, takes the hit from Doughty and gets the puck through the corner. Mitchell off the boards. Dwight King. Spooner had his stick in his skates. Soderberg keeps it inside the line. LA not nearly as effective coming out of its own end as it was in the first meeting of these two teams. Dwight King off the end boards. Bartkowski retrieves, slings it around, but it's a giveaway. The puck rattles in front, and Trotman skates it out of trouble. Stoll going after the puck, but Soderberg strong on the stick. Spooner brings it near side. Eriksson wrists it down the boards on the near side. The other two members of his line peel off for a change. Carter scoops the rink-wide backhand to Brown, drops it to Kopitar, but Chara's on him. Slovakian against Slovenian, and Chara with a nice stick-handling move to take it away from Jeff Carter's reach. Miller up the boards. Lucic takes the hit from Voinov, but the puck rattles back to center.
Chara had a real good game yesterday afternoon against Chicago and all that high-end talent that they can put on the ice. And he made a nice read there defensively on that rush by the LA Kings.
Kopitar off the boards. Carter quickly chops the pass to Brown on the pivot. Chara reads it well and pokes it back into the attacking zone. The Bruins tag up to get onside. Ginla with the pressure. Boychuk cuts off the pass. Bruins do not gain the line cleanly, though. It's going to be offside and the face-off back to center. 9:40 first period. The two best defensive teams in the NHL dishing out plenty of hits. No goals. You know, Chara's at the top of his game. He owns the zone.
Good gaps when you know you have back pressure, allow the Bruins to really take away time and space. Here's Chara reading the play. He knows he has back pressure on this wide side, so he's going to close right across here and not allow the Kings, once they get entry into the offensive zone, any room to operate. You got to close down on plays like Kopitar and Brown. They do exactly that in tandem work defensively. That's one of the biggest strengths of this Bruins team.
Johnny Boychuk rifles one off the corner glass. Drew Doughty on it, protects the puck, sends it off a stanchion, and it bounces right to Richards. Clifford hard off the boards. It tumbles toward Johnson and rattles around. You could hear it pink off the post. But Johnson had the right pad pinned and inside the goal.
Well, Johnson coming off a pretty good game in Dallas the other night when the Bruins up their compete level as a group. They were better in all areas than they were against Toronto on that one home game in between 5 on the road. But he played a strong game in Dallas, had pretty good rebound control, had a nice demeanor to his game, and the Bruins played well in front of him, and he gets the start here against another strong team from the Western Conference.
Bergeron pulls it back, but Stoll bulls ahead, and LA gets control of the puck. Trevor Lewis right to the post, and Stoll across the goal mouth. Trotman clears the shot from Martinez, and another save by Chad Johnson. That's LA hockey. It isn't always pretty, but man, is it physical.
Physical, and it's inside position in front of the net after they create the turnover. They just want to attack the net. They'll make plays in and around the goal. It is one of their strengths. Their big bodies, their ability to get inside, and their defense will pinch down. Trotman's just trying to get that puck out of the most dangerous area. That's the crease. But his backhand attempt goes right to Martinez, creeping in from that right point position, and Johnson made a positional stop. Martinez
can't glove it down in play, and the puck tumbles over the dasher into the Boston bench. Well, Jarrett Stoll, a player who's spent his career in the Western Conference and probably not as appreciated as he should be across the league. Finds a lot of ways to help his team. Thornton off the boards, bounces ahead of Gregory Campbell. Quick to the end boards. Campbell gets it right back in front. It's loose just past the toe of Paille's blade. Trotman holds his ground as Nolan tried to poke the puck past and race onto it. Here's Thornton's drive into the pads of Jonathan Quick. Rick, Jonathan Quick just takes away the bottom of the goal. And the top is available, but it's so hard to get it there because he combines taking away the bottom with a lot of aggressiveness in his reads.
Yeah, quickness, athleticism, and just outright skill. His ability to track the puck. He gets in that low crouch in order to track the puck through the legs, through the sticks, through the skates. And he can get up quick. He can get square. He can get up quick. But yeah, you're right. If you get second chance opportunities, you're thinking under the crossbar.
Iginla fires it down the slot. Doughty blocks the puck before it can get to Krejci. A penalty coming here against the Bruins. A high stick against David Krejci.
You know, we talk about who's going to win the majority of the battle game, the battle factor, the one-on-ones. But you also have to keep in mind the special teams. If you expect this to be a hard-fought, one-goal game, now special teams are amplified. They take on greater meaning. If you can get a special teams goal in a tight game, it goes a long way to securing points. Krejci in the box, high sticking. Kings on the power play.
Kings are 2 for 4 at Detroit Saturday. Helped greatly by some of the auxiliary equipment in the arena. Muzzin, high slot. Kopitar's shot, too many bodies in the way. Muzzin down to the corner. Boychuk picks his pocket, trips over the stick of Muzzin. Crowd wanted a call, it's not coming. Kopitar back to Doughty. Brings it along the line. Kopitar comes off the half boards. The shot. Blocker save and part of the paddle too for Chad Johnson. Bergeron to Marchand, drawing the puck wide against Doughty. Goes inside. Doughty loses the stick and the puck keeps coming. Marchand holds, dangles, scores! Brad Marchand with his league-leading fourth shorthanded goal of the year. Never discouraged, staying with it. Someone had called for a penalty shot there as Doughty conveniently dropped the stick, but Marchand finishes it and the Bruins are up 1-0.
And a great pass by Bergeron to send Marchand off in the defensive end. And even with the puck bouncing and spinning and rolling, he's able to beat Drew Doughty with a little outside-inside move, backhand, forehand, and he wasn't done. When the stick gets in the way and he doesn't get the shot away that he wants because of the stick of Doughty on the ice, LA taps that puck right back to him. Kopitar tries to play some defense, but it's a little pump fake. And all of a sudden, he gets a little opening through Jonathan Quick, and he finds it.
That sure seems to be a player who's feeling it right now. That kind of confidence with a puck on his stick. Some would have been disappointed. Here's Paille exploding into space, tries to chip it past Martinez, who takes it away. And back to Voinov. Minutes ago, still on LA's power play. Fourth shorthanded goal scored against LA this season. Williams right through traffic. Can't get the shot off unmolested though. Paille gives it back to Miller. He has some trouble from Stoll. Stoll to Martinez at the blue line. High slot man is Williams. Stoll picks it up from Martinez on the boards. Gives it back to the defenseman. He's got Voinov on the right. Voinov against Erickson. Voinov loads up. The shot tipped out high by Williams. Stoll shoves the backhand down in front of the Zamboni doors. Bartkowski mucks for it there. Martinez backpedals off the boards, fires it well wide. Voinov down to the corner. Williams swivels it in front. Paille is the second layer, I should say, behind Bartkowski. Martinez's drive tipped out high and it goes off the end boards. Williams can't control under pressure. Daniel Paille playing without a stick. One shot on goal as Krejci's out of the box. Paille without the stick makes the block. Williams' shot. Miller the block. King mucking down by the post. Erickson reaches around. Paille tries to glove it clear. Cannot. Bartkowski fires at the length of the ring just to take the pressure off and get 5 Bruins with sticks onto the ice. Not a bad play by Bartkowski to take the icing there.
Yeah, and you got Krejci coming out of the penalty box, so you got a Sentiment stepping out on the ice. One more look at the shorthanded goal by Brad Marchand. unlucky at first with that drop of the stick by Doughty getting in the way of a potential short mini breakaway on that little cutback move. But the Kings can't secure the puck. And when you're hot, the puck finds you, comes right back to Marchand, and he didn't panic. Love that little pump fake to get Kopitar off balance, steps around him, and then finds a little bit of a hole in Jonathan Quick.
Jordan Nolan in the corner. That was a pretty filthy fake he threw on Corey Crawford yesterday, just waiting for the 5-hole to open. It's like, whoop, there it is, bang, it's in the back of the net.
And he probably had an option to hang on to it. He could have, it was such a good fake, he might have been able to hang on to it, outweigh him, and still beat him short side.
Really, I mean, tell us, when you were feeling it as a player at a variety of levels, and you had some hot streaks, Kruger's down, at times you had to feel they were at your mercy, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely. When you're feeling it, oh, here we go.
Lucic gonna go with Nolan. Oh, Lucic just unloading some roundhouses. Now Nolan gets a grip. Lucic goes to the body, pins him back. Is Nolan saying stay away, the linesman? Yep, I believe he is. He wants that, Lucic. Lucic connects again and goes body. Nolan wild swings. Lucic a block. Oh, he tags Nolan and gets him to back pedal and then drives him back into the glass. Nolan takes a beating from Milan Lucic.
Well, Nolan, a pretty big kid, and he targets a very small player, Torrey Krug. Bruins are losing too many defensemen, and Lucic didn't like it.
What does Peter Gammons think of that?
1-0 you score. Bruins on top of the Kings. Nolan coming in on the forecheck. He's a big man. And it sure looks like a pretty good hit by Nolan on Krug. Krug is usually very elusive in those situations, but he gets caught kind of standing still, paints himself in a corner, and because of the size differential, he takes that hit a little high. But it was a good clean hit by Lucic. I got to think, Jack, that with a dwindling amount of defensemen available to the Bruins right now, that gets your attention as a guy like Lucic, and he came in and tried to take care of business, but they're going to be short-handed, I believe, Jack. The Bruins, there.
Yep. Sean Thornton will serve the extra 2. And waiting for it to be posted online. We haven't gotten it yet.
Los Angeles penalty number
Carter taps the puck back to Downey on the LA power play. Downey fakes the shot. Kopitar spins off the top of the circle. Downey controls, snaps the pass to Muzzin from the hash marks wide of Johnson, and it goes off the corner boards all the way out. Now, Claude Julien often talks about sometimes you got to take some penalties to make a statement to your team and have the faith you can kill it off. This might be one of those. And it was a clean hit by Nolan, and full marks to him for standing there and saying, yeah, I expected this to come, and I don't want the linesman in here. I can handle myself against Lucic. Carter's shot knocked down in front, back to Muzzin. Here's Kopitar. Muzzin holds. Doughty with the shooting option. Fires it off the skates of Boychuk. Carter with the little shovel on the backhand. Sometimes you think it's coming off the great snapshot forehand, and then he goes forehand backhand and just tosses it in there.
Second pretty good bounce for the LA Kings when the Bruins have made shot blocks. Go back to that first power play. Pye without his stick. He makes a shot block, but it goes right back to the Kings. Now this puck finds Carter in the slot. Once again, Johnson able to follow the play, follow the ricochets, and stay square, and not allow a second chance because Brown was right at the top of the crease.
Krejci and Richards on the faceoff. And a little warning to Bartkowski and Fratton to stay put on the far side of the circle. Miller to the corner, scoops it past Voinov and makes the simple play out. The extra penalty for roughing to Milan Lucic. And still more than 3/4 of a minute to go in LA's power play. Bartkowski knocks down Martinez's effort to get it in deep.
Real nice neutral zone coverage by the Bruins penalty killers, taking away the first 3 options that the Kings are looking for coming through center ice.
Voinov, center circle. Looks for Fratton cutting. Miller gets the shoulder underneath. Richards Bounces it past Marchand. Martinez down to Miller. 1-on-2 in the corner. Off the boards. Funny bounce. Off the stanchion. Richards jams it. But good layers by the Bruins. Lots of black uniforms back there. Marchand indirect. Bergeron, a great play to get it forward for Marchand. And quick doing the splits. Marchand couldn't handle the pass as the puck began to tumble.
Didn't know if it bounced over the blade or didn't land in time on the aerial pass from Bergeron.
That pair, so scary out there on the penalty kill. Trevor Lewis bounces it to the end boards. Johnny Boychuk off the apron of the goal. Soderberg there. Off the boards. Boychuk takes it, banks it off the boards, and Spooner gets the puck to Thornton, who's fresh out of the box with the penalty killed. Spooner in front. Quick can't control it, and Dwight King does. We get a stoppage for a hook, and the Bruins will go to the power play.
Pretty good fundamentals by this Bruins team here in the first period. Go back to the penalty kill. The ability to get inside position and leverage by Bergeron and center ice on Martinez leads to this 2-on-1. Marchand knows to go off that far post, attack that far post, get your stick on the ice. And then after Soderberg made a nice play back in his own zone along with Spooner and Sean Thornton coming out of the penalty box, who posted up on the left wing nice and high. But Thornton, by keeping his feet moving, Jack, gaining entry into the offensive zone. Spooner staying in close proximity. And Soderberg trying to get up into the play. And you have puck possession. Now you draw a penalty.
Krug back in action. Wrists it off of Kopitar, and the puck goes deep. Kopitar can't clear the zone. And Kinley into Kopitar's body. Kopitar gets it through the neutral zone. He's got Trevor Lewis, talented player, cross ice. Krug gets a piece of the puck. Lewis backhands it in deep. Kopitar, who's had about 5 touches during this Bruins power play already, skates off for a change. Bruins power play brought to you by Mazda. Krejci just feathers it under Dwight King's stick. Krug from behind the red line, and the Bruins are a little out of sync. Icing on the power play.
Yeah, just the timing a little bit off. David Krejci didn't have the passing lane he was looking for, so he tried to have that little curl and drag, but now everything's out of sync, to use your term. And then all of a sudden, Krug wants to make a quick play to Spooner right in the middle of the neutral zone. We take a look at that little disruption by King on the forecheck. Spooner's open, and the Kings had backed off their blue line, but it was as if he didn't expect the pass from Krug.
Stolen Krejci on the faceoff. Chara jumps into the circle, and Krug gets upended on Stoll's hit, an indication of Jarrett Stoll's strength and strength on his skates. Krejci wing to wing to Krug over the blue line, takes a big hit from Doughty. LA's definitely scouted number 47, and they are tagging him every chance. Iginla through the corner. Spooner reverses to Krejci. Krejci along the line for Krug. Here comes King. Krug right through the slot. Hard bounce. Spooner catches it. Finds Krejci. Krejci to Krug. His drive scores! Gets your revenge on the scoreboard! And the Bruins are up 2-0.
Brings an element to this Bruins team, and especially the power play they haven't really seen in quite some time. The mobility, the quickness, the good decisions, and then you add a real nice shot to that arsenal, and you got yourself a real good offensive, potentially offensive defenseman. And Krug continues to do the job. Chara in front of the net. I'm not sure if he gets a piece of it or not, but that's a bomb by Krug, and the Bruins showed patience with a man advantage with that high umbrella, high triangle.
Here's Paille looking for Thornton, but the pass behind him. Thornton lifts Clifford's stick. Voynov dribbles it through the center circle. Paille, Bartkowski. Paille off the boards, trouble from Fratton. Boychuk jumps up, fires it out to the neutral zone. Voynov, D to Jake Muzzin. Off Voynov's stick, he can only poke it to Fratton. And now Muzzin. Fraser, Clifford up on the blocker arm of Chad Johnson. Regehr, Clifford one-hands it. Riley Smith takes it back. Chara holds, saucers it too far forward for Boychuk. Regehr wires it around. Now Chara on the far side lifts it up, but not past Kopitar. Centering pass behind Brown. Riley Smith banks it ahead, and Marchand can't catch up to it. Final minute of the first period. The Bruins need to make good decisions in the final 60 seconds to finish off what has been a very strong opener for them. Downey ahead for Carter, a poke check by Marchand. Bergeron takes the loose puck. Chara to Marchand, slips it towards Smith. It's offside as the puck was delayed, and Riley Smith wanted to bring it in himself but couldn't, and he was ahead of the puck.
Well, just to reiterate, Jack, the importance of special teams if you expect this to be a tight game. The Bruins now with a shorty and a power play goal in the first period.
And they're back to a net positive in special teams. They had been as high as number 7 in the league at a cumulative +6, counting all special teams goals, but they had plummeted to -1, thanks mostly to a penalty kill that just wasn't working. But now they're back to +1.
Yeah, and it won't be lost on the coaching staff, obviously, with Zdeno Chara back to the front of the net, able to score a power play goal. He had played, because of the injury situation and the combinations that he tried to get out there with the man advantage, he had played a little bit more out by the blue line with the man advantage, that time in front of the net for the Krug drive.
Chara doing what he does best, retrieving it in the defensive zone, and the Bruins clear out to the center circle. Final 10 seconds of the period. The goal still belongs to Krug. I'll take a close look at it between periods. Chara's gone 13 without scoring. And the siren sounds to end what for Boston is a most satisfactory first.
Well, Marchand got him going with the short-handed goal, and not to be lost in that sequence was a nice save on Kopitar by Johnson. Allowed Bergeron the ensuing action to get that puck to Marchand on the breakout, but that gives you such a lift. And also, Lucic stepping in on the hit by Nolan on Krug, I think, speaks volumes for what this Bruins team's all about and the reason they like to play these types of games.
It's a matinee at TD Gardendale. What more could you ask for than a shorty, a fight, and a power play goal in the first 20 minutes?
That's our matinee hat trick, Jeff.
Tap to Claude Julien's system, which is an effort-based system, and it doesn't get any easier in the second half of the back-to-backs. The Bruins have a 2-0 lead against the Los Angeles Kings as we get set to begin the second period. Twisted but true fact of the game. The Bruins have recorded 23 points against the Western Conference. That's good for the second highest total of any Eastern Conference team, trailing only Tampa Bay by 1. The Kings have 29 points against the East. That's the second highest total of any Western team, trailing only Anaheim's 35. Twisted tea, hard iced tea, the refreshing hard iced tea that tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. And Brick, really what it points out is that if you play the style of hockey that the Bruins and the LA Kings play, you can win against anybody in just about any kinds of circumstances.
Oh, no doubt about it. And it all starts with that compete level, and something the Bruins pride themselves on. It's hard to get it where it needs to be 82 times a year during the regular season. But when you go up against teams like LA, recent Cup winners, a team that appears built for the postseason, arguably the best team in the Western Conference, I mean, these are the games you look forward to playing, and it just brings out that natural competitiveness in you.
Now, I always defer in hockey judgment to you because I was never inside the boards. But in that brief tour of California, LA was the most impressive of the three teams, to me.
Yeah, well, it's me too. You know, that's my simple agreement with you. But you know, you think San Jose was missing a couple of key guys, right? You know, does that affect their roster? What does that make them look like in the postseason? I thought they were real good. Anaheim, are they playing as good as they possibly can play right now?
If they aren't, it's scary. Here's a walk-in. Eriksson in front for Soderberg. Bartkowski rifles it past the post. The Spooner's tangled up in the back of the goal. We're going to get interference. And the Bruins on the power play.
Yeah, Spooner was trying to get to the net, and he was interfered with. Ended up going into the Los Angeles Kings net. Louis Eriksson able to make that steal. Good forechecking pressure started with Spooner. Eriksson tried to make a backhand feed. Bartkowski picked up the loose change after Soderberg had knocked off the play. Bartkowski just misses short side, and then as Spooner tries to join the offensive thrust, he's interfered with, and the Bruins with a chance to pay back the Kings with a 3-0 lead that they found themselves down out in LA when they were against the Kings on home ice. Bruins
1 for 1 on the power play tonight, after having gone 1 for 23 in their previous 8 games. Quick has to make the save on the short shovel forward. Spooner and Chara in deep. Now here comes Kopitar, who had an excellent penalty kill while he was on the ice before the Bruins scored on their power play last time around. Stoll battling the puck to the end boards and then takes a huge hit from McKinley to get the puck back to center. Gets up, skates off, yells at the ref. All in a good day's work for Jarrett Stoll.
Well, I didn't see Krug yelling about a good hit from Nolan.
Hey, I got no problem with people who lose their temper every once in a while.
That's a good hit right there by Iginla.
Absolutely.
You can still take the body when you're on the power play.
Absolutely. And we know one thing, if Jarrett Stoll comes looking for Iginla later, he'll answer the bell as Jordan Nolan answered the bell for LA earlier today. David Krejci gains the line, taps it back to Krug. Krug holds it, gets it past Colin Fraser. Cross ice, here's Bergeron. Krug out top with Krejci near side. Krejci swivels with Bergeron setting up the screen. Chara's drive, saved by Quick. Quick going from his right to his left, strongly getting the arm on it. Louis Eriksson patient in a seam. Krug shovels to Krejci. Back to Eriksson, turns toward goal into traffic. Bergeron whacks it back to Krejci. Banks the indirect pass to Bergeron. He closes against Doughty. Eriksson back of the goal, uses Chara's huge pick. Krejci fakes the shot, finds Eriksson. Couldn't control it quickly off the stick. Snaps the pass back to Krug around the perimeter. Krejci to Bergeron with Chara in front. Bergeron goes toward goal. The shot off of Chara and Quick. Now Eriksson lets it run to Krug. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Eriksson feathers the pass to Krug. The blast goes off of Fraser. Krug to Krejci. Krejci turns away from Clifford. Goes deep for Bergeron. Tries to shovel it in front. Regehr with the block. Bergeron tries to whip it cross crease. Doughty makes the block. Whiffs on the clear attempt, and Clifford finishes the job. One shot on goal during the power play.
Yeah, just the one shot. Some good puck movement. They created some nice passing seams. The one shot was Chara's on that one-timer from below the dot. I think if he gets that puck about more than halfway up the net, he scores.
Muzzin does not connect coming out of the zone. This will be icing against Los Angeles.
Well, that's what you want with your power play if you don't score. You want to maintain momentum of the hockey game. You want to create momentum if you don't have it. And you want to continue to wear down your opponent where they have to expend a ton of energy in a defensive posture. Good movement. David Krejci, the subtleties in his game, when he changes the passing angles by moving his feet ever so slightly. Great stop by Quick on Chara. Chara did exactly what he wanted to in terms of one-timing the puck. But if that puck's more elevated, Bruins have a 3-0 lead.
Indication of Anze Kopitar's skill. He looked over the shoulder, knew that the hit was coming, got the puck off the boards into the seam to a teammate who then subsequently iced it. But what Kopitar can do in traffic is remarkable.
Multi-talented guy, a real smart hockey player. You know, he's got good size, Jack, and the great hands to go with that size and a willingness to compete. That's a pretty full package right there when you talk about a hockey player and a leader. That's why he's top of the list when it comes to production with this team.
There's some pretty tall trees on LA's roster, but he's 6'3", 225, and he stands right there with them. Marchand to Bergeron. Bergeron banks it to Bartkowski, who catches it on the forehand. Bergeron turns off the hash marks, rifles it from Marchand. Little hip wiggle to try to get through Muzzin. Bergeron's drive blocked down. Muzzin chucks the backhand forward to Jeff Carter. Carter slides it through to Kopitar. Tries to swivel around Boychuk, goes back in the net, banks it off the apron. Carter races into the seam to keep the puck moving. Brown on the end boards. Boychuk wraps him up. Kopitar trying to get some space against the wall against Bergeron. Bergeron stabs at it. Kopitar uses the strength in the big body to A-frame, gets it right into the doorstep. Behind Johnson and out the other side as Jeff Carter had the chance to snap it in. Boychuk stumbles under pressure from Carter. Bergeron unable to clear the zone. Here's Mike Richards, dances on Bartkowski, shoves it in front. Brown scores! What a shift by LA. Is Willie Mitchell coming down from the point. No wonder I didn't recognize him. It's his first goal in 50 games.
Real good answering shift. We talk about trying to maintain momentum in a hockey game with your power play. Well, maybe the Kings got a little something out of surviving the penalty kill. and keeping this a 2-0 game at the time. Now they've cut into the lead at 2-1. Real good shift. Carter had the first opportunity. I wasn't sure if he was trying to bank it in off Johnson because he didn't have the angle or he just missed on the far side. A nice little move to circle the net. Richards, nice little delay. Strong shift by that line. Kopitar got it started. Good strength in the offensive zone. Willie Mitchell came right down the slot, uncovered with good timing.
First of the season and then some for Willie Mitchell. Thornton having trouble with Williams, and here's the compete level. Fratton dribbles it just wide. Fratton goes in and pastes Paille. Krug turns it to the near side. Paille pulls the puck back from Richards. Campbell up the right side. Thornton hitting Kevin Miller on the go. Campbell kicks it to Paille. Tries to shovel it through the skates. Can't get it all the way through to Quick's goal. Fratton to Drew Doughty, the defenseman jumping up. He hesitates at the line, and that sends the rush offside.
Enter the Sullivan Tie Bruins Dream Day sweepstakes for your chance to win 2 Nesson Luxury Suite tickets, a chance to hang out with Nesson's broadcast team, and a private meet and greet with Bruins forward Gregory Campbell. Visit Nesson.com/Sullivan Tire today for your chance to win.
So Colin Fraser, Kyle Clifford, Jordan Nolan out against the Spooner line. And a physical advantage here for Los Angeles as Daryl Sutter tries to turn the thumb screws a little on the Bruins.
First goal of the season for Willie Mitchell.
Mitchell in the corner and rattles off the skates of Eriksson. Chad Johnson knocks down the puck for Bartkowski. 1 assist on the Mitchell goal. It's Mike Richards. On a compete scale of 1 to 10, Richards is somewhere around 11. Bartkowski, Soderberg redirects. Quick stops the puck for Mitchell. He's got Martinez to his left, gives it to Nolan. Nolan lugs it up into the neutral zone. Off the boards, Chara turns and retrieves. LA in the middle of a change. Chara all the way to the red line. Voinov with a good read. Makes the steal, but the rush is offside.
Yeah, it was Nolan, Jack, that was still in the offensive zone. He's the last guy to complete the line change for the Kings, and he went inside the door because he wanted to get the bench as quick as possible, but that door that he went in is in the offensive zone, and he wasn't off the ice yet. Chara wanted to get that quick up because he knew the change was happening by the Kings. But that passing lane just not there long enough in order to complete that pass up the left wing boards.
Stoll wins the faceoff straight back. Krejci had a pretty good hold of Jarrett Stoll's stick as he tried to tear away from the faceoff dot. Trevor Lewis risks it right over the top of Chad Johnson's goal. Krug back after it. Stoll's on him. Here's Trevor Lewis prying it loose. Krejci chops down on the stick, and Lewis controls the puck nonetheless. King, Krejci knocks it off his blade out to center. Regehr quickly takes possession back. LA had 9 minutes and 15 seconds of zone time in the first period, so despite getting outscored 2-0, a dominant first period in terms of territory. And the Kings now have raised their game in the second.
Special teams for Boston.
That's the difference. Somebody was talking about that before the game. Initials ATB. Kopitar swivels out of the corner. Boychuk keeps him on the perimeter. Carter whacks the backhand in deep for King. King centers for Kopitar, and it goes under his heel. Kopitar sweeping at the puck and easily could have tied the game right there. Voinov smacks it wing to wing. Giovanni Boychuk. Chuck gets it in behind quick. The Bruins change out. It's the Bergeron line with Marchand and Smith the wing. Smith pokes it ahead. Marchand on the go, wins the race against Voinov. Can't bring the puck along as he swoops behind the net. Voinov pokes it to the corner. Bergeron there. Smith dangles. What a save by Quick. Got the right pad flat and robbed Riley Smith on the doorstep. Chad Johnson bunts it out right onto Carter's stick. He turns and risks it right back at him, and it goes out of play. Jonathan Quick. This is why this guy's probably going to be the Olympic starter for the U.S.
20 minutes of ice time, season high 10 10 shots on net and a goal the last time the Kings faced the Bruins on January 9th. That makes Carter our key matchup this afternoon. Brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Carter's currently riding a 3-game point streak, perhaps heating up at the right time before he heads to Sochi next month, joined by Kings teammate Drew Doughty and, of course, the Bruins' own Patrice Bergeron to represent Team Canada.
All right, Jamie. Every time Canada wheels out a team, you could easily make the argument it is the greatest assemblage of talent ever on one hockey club, except for Melrose High School.
What year?
I think it was early 80s, wasn't it? Maybe late 70s, huh?
There you go.
There you go. Johnny Boychuk with some confusion, and it's Keystone Cops in the Boston crease. Johnson and Boychuk, I got it, you take it, and LA almost did. Mitchell gets the D-to-D pass from Martinez into the skates of Fratton. Now the Bruins and LA are statistically so similar that it is baffling until you look at the way they play the game. Very similarly built teams. Krejci, Bartkowski, both are extremely resilient teams, both in the top 7 in the league after yielding the first goal. Both very strong when trailing after 1. Bartkowski fires it on quick. Krejci snaps the puck through the corner. Paille dances around Clifford, but can't get the pass back to Trotman. Trotman knocks down the LA clear in the neutral zone. The Bruins in the middle of a change. Gregory Campbell on the ice now. Thornton comes over to confront Kyle Clifford. Bartkowski picks up the puck in the center circle and wrists it off the end glass. Martinez takes the hit from Paille to move it to Nolan up to the blue line. Not out. Thornton the quick swivel. Campbell at the extension of his reach. Regeer prevents him from getting around him. Thornton recovers and shovels over to Bartkowski. Nolan with the hit on Bartkowski, knocking him clear of the puck. Martinez shoves at it. It comes back to Fraser, the center, who's dropped down in rotation with Martinez ahead.
Jackie, go back to that confusion in the Bruins defensive zone. In games like this, like yesterday afternoon, you don't want any soft goals or any gimmies. That goal by Bollig yesterday can maybe cost the Bruins an extra point in that one, even though Tuukka Rask responded beautifully after that goal, made some huge saves later in that hockey game.
Soderberg with speed off the half boards into Fraser's legs. Soderberg with the steal, taken away from King. He closes, swerves middle. Puck comes back to Eriksson, bunts it over to Chara. The wrist shot on quick, and it rattles between the knees. And he covers up. Berkshire Bank Rewind coming up in just 30 seconds. Brick takes a closer look at Brad Marchand's first period shorthanded goal.
Time now for the Berkshire Bank exciting rewind. We'll roll it back to the first period. No score. Bruins trying to kill a penalty. Pretty good opportunity for Anze Kopitar, their top offensive gun. Real good on the power play. This little arc move coming off the wall creates a better angle, and you need to get stops on your penalty kill. But Chad Johnson delivers with the blocker, and now the mad scrambles on. Bruins defensive rotation is in play, and Patrice Bergeron just makes another strong play. He tracks the puck down. He could go up the wall, just hammer it off the glass, get it out of his own zone, but he thought he had a passing lane to Brad Marchand, and he did. He delivers a perfect pass, tape to tape, and Marchand, who beats Drew Doughty with an inside-outside move, and even though Doughty sticks in the way, it's the finish that's a thing of beauty. A little pump fake around Kopitar. He sells the shot. Goaltender thinks it's coming. Everybody that's protecting the net thinks it's coming. He steps around Kopitar, and there's that little bit of a seam to get that shot through, and the Bruins had a 1-0 lead on the shorthander.
Every month, Berkshire Bank is giving away a Kindle Fire HD. Plus, at the end of the season, Berkshire Bank will assist one lucky winner with his mortgage for a year. All you need to do is vote for your favorite exciting rewind. Go to NESN.com/Berkshire Bank to enter. Berkshire Bank, life is exciting. Let them help. You know, you see moves like that from Marchand, and first thing I think of is pond hockey. That's just a lot of unstructured play time. What if I can do this? And it goes into the muscle memory, and there we see it again in the NHL.
And if you don't shoot the puck, you know, as much as Brad Marchand is shooting the puck right now, then you don't go for the pump fake. You're expecting a one-on-one, deke move if you're not shooting the puck. And that could be the criticism of, sentiment that overpass. If you start looking for your shot, now the passing lanes open up.
Trotman with a good hit on King. Lewis on the end boards. Bartkowski is the next layer behind Spooner. One hands it over to Soderberg. Soderberg has Spooner busting up the middle. Tries to feather it through, but can't. Doughty with a good defensive play and 3-on-3 backup ice. Here comes LA. It bounces hard away from Doughty. Stoll looking for Doughty middle. Trotman gives it back to Doughty, and Lewis couldn't handle it in traffic. A lot going on that shift.
Here, you have it. No, you have it.
Johnson shoves the puck to Bartkowski hard around through the defensive corner. Soderberg back to Trotman, has to get away from Kopitar, and now goes D-to-D. Bartkowski back to Trotman. Bartkowski draws Brown. Crowd a little restive here as the Bruins look for a clean breakout. Bartkowski looking along the attacking line to Soderberg, but Mitchell was all over it. Eriksson, Trotman, Bartkowski, pressure from Brown, goes up the wall, and Voinov takes the turnover. Bergeron on the forecheck. Mitchell threads it through to Kopitar. He goes off the Smith spin. Smith chops down on Kopitar. There's Bergeron to clear the backhand. Voinov kicks it to Mitchell. Marchand chasing hard, gives Mitchell's stick a whack. Smith up with it looking for Bergeron, but Brown on the back check lifts Bergeron's stick. Kevin Miller in deep. Pretty quiet at TD Garden as the crowd senses LA's surge. Miller fakes the shot, takes the hit from Kopitar. Miller goes past the hash marks to Smith, backs toward the goal, but Quick blocks the post on him. Mitchell gives it away. Marchand's shot just wide the glove side post. Krejci lets it run through to Miller. Almost faked out Miller too. Krejci back to Miller. The one-timer sailing high, and Quick gloves it to take the face-off in the LA zone.
Vote for the Amica Coverage Play of the Week and enter to win a $100 gift certificate to the Pro Shop at TD Garden, courtesy of NESN. Enter now at NESN.com/Amica Coverage Cam.
What we got here is a great hockey game.
The Bruins trying to recapture some of that momentum they had in the game when it was 2-0 and the crowd was a lot more into it. Little reminder, that right pad save that Quick made on Riley Smith. Riley Smith that time tried to pull it short side.
Lucic, and Quick pokes it away from the crease. Iginla one way then the other on Regehr, who has him tied up, and he's going to go for a holding. You know, when one hand comes off the stick, whether you're actually holding the guy or not, if you impede him, you're probably going to go to the box these days.
Yeah, and we're looking for a little bit more production, and maybe a lot more production from Iginla, given his resume. You know, you go through some dry streaks, having a difficult time finding the back of the net right now. And then you start to peel the onion a little bit more, and you're getting the effort from Jarome Iginla. And just that little move right there gives you the indication that the effort is still there. He's trying that little separation move. Hesitation, fake one way, subtle fake left, go right, get separation, and Regehr guilty of the hold. And the Bruins looking for another special teams tally right now.
1 for 2 on the power play with 2 shots on goal. Lots of zone time last time, 1:25 out of the 2-minute power play, but just 1 shot on goal. So how do you tweak the execution that you saw last time out on the man advantage?
I think you build off some of those seams that you made when you come to the bench and you talk about what your power play looked like. The plays are there to be made. Let's look for the shot a little earlier, though, in the man advantage.
Krejci to Krug with the open lane. He stumbles at the blue line, and the play blows up offside. Claude Julien's Bruins with 25 power play goals coming into today. They've added their 26th in this, their 49th game. That production on the power play, not percentage, but goal production, has the Bruins in the bottom 6 of the league. Krug turns away from King. Up the boards for Lucic. He's got Iginla flying up the right wing. Gives it to him with speed into the zone. Back to Lucic. Doughty with the sweep check to knock it out of the front. Now Doughty chips it past Chara and seals off the Boston captain. And Fraser clears.
Yeah, Fraser had a good strong stick on the back check, too. The Bruins thought they might be able to get a play to Lucic in that slot for a quick release.
Krejci to Krug. Into the zone. Hard around. Chara on the far side. Lets it run through Iginla from his knees. Plays it to Chara. Iginla uses Chara's screen to get it all the way around to Krug. Krug back to Chara on the right wing boards. Fans on the pass attempt trying to get it to Lucic. and the referee takes the worst of it. Greg Kimmerly going down. Here's Krejci pulling it off the boards. Krug middle of the line. Iginla in the circle. Again on the perimeter. Lots of zone time, but the Bruins need to get something dangerous. Chara trying to shove it in front. Lucic to Krejci. Fakes Clifford off his feet into Iginla's skates. Lucic pulls up below the hash marks. Iginla right across the front off the apron as Chara tries to whack it in the open side. And Clifford makes the clear.
Almost. Two almosts. Again, David Krejci with that subtle little move. Fake shot, move, change the angle of the pass. The one timer, though, too far in front of Iginla.
Marchand dangles, goes deep, wraps it around. He's on a tour of the attacking zone. Bartkowski with Regehr out of the box. Bartkowski's shot goes right through the crease off Bergeron and out. 0 shots during the power play. Trotman's shot in on quick. Bergeron causing the bobble because he was screening in tight. Now here's Marchand dangling against Doughty. Doughty just drills him and knocks him down. Doughty's pass gets through Smith up to the line, but not out. A good effort from Boychuk to backhand it hard off the end boards. Smith quickly on it with Richards pursuing, and the goal is on top of Jonathan Quick. And the face-off, I believe, is going to come outside the zone. Was that Marchand going around the back, or how'd that end up on top of the LA goalie?
Well, Marchand didn't like getting hit from behind, I'll tell you that, first of all, with Doughty in coverage.
We'll figure out who the perpetrator was. Yeah, well, it might have been 63.
On Bruins Face Off Live, we introduced today's NESN Mobile Bruins poll. Of these 4 Western Conference teams that are not necessarily atop the West right now, but they are the most recent Bruins opponents, which would be the toughest Stanley Cup final opponent? Reply A for Anaheim, B for Chicago, C for Los Angeles, or D for San Jose. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. Text HELP for info and visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions and a privacy policy.
Thank you, Jamie. Here's a hint, fans. Don't pay attention to the order of the standings. Pay attention to who's going to get into the playoffs. Remember, in LA's season that they won the Stanley Cup, here comes Richards over the line. The shot saved Johnson. The big rebound, and Smith steers it to the corner, but Williams is on him. Richards brings it back to Mitchell, the goal scorer for LA. Richards pivots it down into the corner. Miller ties up Williams. Smith stabs it loose to Bergeron. Bergeron ahead into Marchand, skates. Marchand draws it back. Now gives it over to Bartkowski. He wrists it around. In LA's Stanley Cup winning year, the Kings qualified for the playoffs on the 3rd to last day of the season and then proceeded to beat every division winner in the Western Conference in order before beating New Jersey in the Stanley Cup final. Toyota Game Break with Dale Arnold.
No. Game break. Toyota Game Break, Jack. Philadelphia at the Islanders. Tied at 3 after overtime. 4th round of the shootout. Kyle Oposo dekes Ray Emery, able to beat him stick side with a backhander. Islanders come back from 2 goals down to win 4-3 in the shootout. Jack?
Dr. Freud, if you can figure out the Islanders, please send me an email on that one. They are so good when they're good, and they are so bad when they are bad, and they have been really good twice against the Bruins this season, beating Boston in both meetings. Erickson up into the LA zone. Jake Muzzin pops it back to center. King muscles through to get it to Trevor Lewis. He wiggles the puck into Boychuk's corner. Goes in and bangs Boychuk. The puck loose. Krug quickly wrists it off the glass, but Doughty jumps up. The defenseman forward of the goal line. Doughty holds the puck away from Spooner. Loses an edge as he swivels. Lewis tries the backhand feed. Krug intercepts but can't clear. There's Lewis. Trevor Lewis, a really clever player. Salt Lake City native. And this guy knows how to play. He can help his team in so many different ways. We saw him as a mucking 4th-line center in the game out in Los Angeles. He's playing a top 6 wing position today. There he is with the puck, and he makes the pass to Clifford. Bartkowski throws it cross ice. Puck bounces out to center. And LA again looking for the quick ups. Clifford tags up to get back onside. Trotman takes it, and here comes the pressure. 3 men across and 1 man at the blue line as LA looks for an up-ice turnover from Boston. Bartkowski takes the space. Bartkowski on a rink-length rush. The backhand saved by Quick. The rebound cleared but not out. Trotman's shot wrists off the end boards. Thornton stabs it forward to Campbell. He rattles it off a couple of skates. Thornton's shot and a save by Quick because he was in the right spot. Nolan can't get it out of the zone. Bartkowski seals off the boards. Good shift from the Campbell line here as LA was trying to set up camp at Boston's end of the ice. Bartkowski in a race with the big Jordan Nolan. Nolan gets position. Bartkowski steers him into the end wall and then wrists it around to Thornton. Thornton has an open lane. He's also got Paille far side. Tries to scoop it over everybody. Glove down at the line by Muzzin. Thornton ahead to Campbell. Now Paille back of the LA goal. Loses the puck battle against Doughty. Brown gets green lighted on Miller's hitting the neutral zone, going after an airborne puck. Brown takes a number, but no complaint. That's the way Brown plays the game. It's a hard hit.
Well, it's always a difficult play on that high lob for both players, but in this instance, the advantage is to Miller because Brown's thinking puck possession, and Miller's thinking eliminate my man on this play. And it's well-timed. It's within the rules. Brown knocked down. Good job again by Kevin Miller. Bartkowski prior to that, Jack. The reason the fourth line got a pretty good opportunity, the short side chance by Sean Thornton. Bartkowski skating the puck the length of the ice, taking ice when presented.
Yeah, you wonder if Dustin Brown was a wide receiver who went across the middle in his schoolboy days. He got right up. It's like, yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen.
Got to get a quarterback that can throw it on a line, though.
Doughty, the wrist shot into Krejci's legs. Doughty gloves it back across the line, but the puck popped out into center ice, so it's offside.
You know, much has been made, and I'm certainly in the camp of what are the Bruins going to do in the absence of Dennis Seidenberg. Well, in the short term, they have to get good production and big minutes from guys like Matt Bartkowski. And I'll tell you, Jack, the last 3 or 4 games, his consistency has been there. You know, there have been moments this year where you have a good first period, maybe fall back into some bad mistakes or some habits, maybe in period number 2. But the last three games or so, he's been pretty strong start to finish. Obviously, his best strength is that skating ability, the ability to lug the puck and jump into the play and go retrieve pucks because of that skating ability.
Brown on the off wing, showing shot back to Mitchell. The drive and a save by Johnson. Willie Mitchell, 49 consecutive games without a goal. He almost had his second of the period.
The Bruins get a little overcommitted, a 4-man. You know, everybody get back to the slot, batten down the hatches kind of defense, and you forget about Mitchell coming late. Mitchell gets there with timing, and that's a bullet. Great save by Johnson.
And that's the same thing you were talking about earlier in the game, Brick. If you show shot, you force the defenseman to make a decision, and that opens up the pass. Boychuk, backhand rattles around through the corner. Marchand can't get it past Mitchell. Bartkowski tries the other side. Riley Smith waiting, and here comes Fratton. Williams to Richards, but he fouls it off into Bartkowski's skates. Quickly 3-on-2. Bergeron gets it from Marchand. It bounces on Smith. Bergeron right there in support. Boychuk wrists it down the boards. Mitchell kicks it free
1 minute remaining
as we
in
enter
the
the final
period.
minute of the second period. This one comes off the back of Bergeron's legs. Marchand to Bergeron. The backhand into the slot. Bartkowski, a lot of space out top. Gets it low for Marchand. Trying to get it through to Smith in the slot, but again, too many bodies for LA. Bartkowski's going to get an interference penalty for getting in the line of Mike Richards. Both players tired, and Richards had the angle. Bartkowski heads him off, and he'll go to the box.
The TD Bank Community Clubhouse and the Boston Bruins would like to welcome the Martin Luther King School of Boston to today's game. At TD Bank, we're committed to supporting the communities we serve by making a difference together. Bruins had something going in the offensive zone. Bartkowski tried to find Marchand, which he did. Marchand tried to make a pass, a little bit standing still, stationary. Not enough lanes to complete that pass, and now Bartkowski's in a position where he's up ice, a little bit more offensive-minded in that situation. And now Richards has the advantage through the neutral zone, the one-on-one battle. Bartkowski interferes with him. It did create the offside, which is why the whistle blew.
They'll do a redrop. Jarrett Stoll having another outstanding day at the dot. 11-3 on faceoffs. And Krejci wins that one.
Penalty number 43, Matt Bartkowski.
Chara hammers it off the boards. It rattles into Doughty's skates. Erickson knocks it loose. Krejci likes to regroup with the Boston zone. Across to Kevin Miller from the red line. Through a stick and all the way off the corner boards in the final 25 seconds. Drew Doughty bringing the puck up ice. Krejci puts the hip on him, and that causes the offside. And our friend Larry Murphy, who used to call color for the Detroit Red Wings and Hall of Fame defenseman, had a theory that if you could split a power play between two periods, it was actually easier to kill because you could have your best penalty killers on the ice for a higher percentage of it.
Pretty smart guy.
Although I know a guy who calls color for the Boston Bruins who said, I love having a fresh sheet of ice. Not going to get too many tumbling pucks with a perfect sheet, are you? Dwight King in off the end boards. Boychuk cranks it around, and that'll kill off the period. So I guess we're going to see that principle tested at the beginning of the third, Brick.
Well, he was a pretty good offensive defenseman. I'm coming at it from the offensive point of view. Him and his analysis was thinking more of killing the penalty.
Yeah. Usually airborne. Just hoist it out of there 30 feet high.
This is what we expected. 2-1 game going into the third period. Could have gone in either direction, but Boston with the special teams goals. They give one back on a nice play by Mitchell coming in from the point, but this is what was expected. Low scoring, 1-goal game going into the final period.
Brutal battle as billed, Dale.
Absolutely right for a matinee contest here at the TD Garden, Jack. Our second intermission report brought to you by your local New England Ford dealers. Dale Arnold, Billy Jaffe back here at our TD Garden studios. Kings scored the only goal of the period. Bruins lead 2-1 at the end of 2 periods of play. And Willie Mitchell, in fact, got the Kings goal just 4 minutes into the second.
Who scored?
Willie Mitchell, I know.
Hadn't scored since the end of March, going back 49 games back to 2012 for him. He's been battling injuries left and right, but here is a good little play behind the net, protecting the puck, finding then Mitchell coming in by Mike Richards. And Richards, the key to this play. Watch right here, he's going to bring his hands out, and then he brings his hand in at the last second. What you do right there, Dale, when you're coming behind the net and you bring your hands back in just like that, you bring the puck closer a little bit to your body, and you hit that inside pass seam right there.
Alongside Andy Brickley. And with Jamie Erdahl at ice level and our NESN production crew, I'm Jack Edwards. The Bruins lead the LA Kings 2-1 as we close in on the beginning of the third period. Moments ago, Brick had a couple of words with Bruins assistant coach Jeff Ward.
Jeff, Brad Marchand, his 10th goal in his last 15 games. What are you seeing in his game that might not have been there earlier in the year?
Well, I think he's starting to skate a little more freely, and he's challenging a lot more, especially to the outside of the ice. Earlier, he was taking the puck to the inside all the time. He's starting to use that outside speed, and it's giving him some more lanes to the net.
No Seidenberg, no Hamilton. Now McQuaid out of the lineup again. Are you getting what you need from the guys that are taking on more responsibility, like a Bartkowski, like a Miller?
Well, it's a work in progress, obviously, but they're getting better game by game, and it's a chance for us to develop some depth on our blue line. And by and large, the guys have done a pretty good job. There's always going to be a little bit of a learning curve for them, and they're going through it. But along with Hoods, those guys doing a great job evaluating games and working on improving on a daily basis.
Couple special teams goals for you guys today in this 2-1 lead going into the third period. But will the third period be about who wins the battles in the trenches that determines the winner?
I think so. I mean, both real good defensive teams, and right now they're a team that loves to go to the front of the net, so we're going to have to really pay attention to that area. And also, their defensemen are starting to slide along the blue line down into the play, just like they did on that goal that they got. So we've got to pay attention to what's coming from behind as far as our wingers go in the defensive zone, and we've got to make sure we're winning those battles in front of the net. And likewise, we've got to win the battles in front of theirs.
Thanks, Jeff. Good luck in the third period.
Thank you.
And that third period begins with Boston on a penalty kill. Patrice Bergeron, Brad Marchand, Zdeno Chara, Johnny Boychuk out there for Boston. It'll be Jeff Carter, Anze Kopitar, Mike Richards, Drew Doughty, and Jake Muzzin for Daryl Sutter's LA Kings. 1:15 to go on this power play. Matt Bartkowski in the box for interfering with Mike Richards. Doughty sails it around through both corners. Boychuk pops it up. Kopitar back to the corner. Carter swivels it to Muzzin. He comes off the boards. It hops over Doughty's stick. Then Bergeron gets it out. Boychuk's stick had broken in the flow of that play. Kevin Miller changing on, goes down into the corner. Kopitar on one side, Richards on the other. The puck springs loose near the dot. Doughty to Carter. Carter closes in front for Kopitar, but he couldn't grab it on the frictionless ice as it skidded past. Now Doughty, top of the circle, fakes the shot. Muzzin's driving, a save by Chad Johnson. Krejci spoons it forward, but not out. Doughty there. Bounces it off the corner glass. Kopitar A-framing against Miller for space. Richards bounces it back to Muzzin, who makes a nice play down on one knee. Doughty back to Muzzin, looking for the tip in front. And Chad Johnson on a double deflection sticks it out of there. Then again, it comes up off the strings. Richards in the corner. Chara takes a poke at him. Kopitar patient with the puck in front, and it splits the D. Bartkowski elects not to go after it, figuring he couldn't get to it before quick, and he peels off.
More important that he get the line change, and the Bruins get a 5-man unit that they want on the ice right now.
2 shots on goal, a total of 4 on the power plays by Los Angeles. Krug after the puck in the corner. Jarrett Stoll, who's having another outstanding day. Mitchell's wrist shot off a stick, comes out the far side. Krug ahead for Paille, turns away as Stoll is coming through hard. And that produces another chance for LA to keep it in the attacking zone. Thornton along the half boards. Campbell gets turned around in contact, skate to skate with Brown. Krug back in the Boston goal. LA peels off and brings some more energy onto the ice. Thornton bounces it cross corner. Paille quickly after it, trying to shovel it through to Campbell. Voinov blocks the pass. A little wiggle from Fratton, gets the puck ahead to King. King barrels down the side against Trotman. Trotman bangs him in the corner, and the puck loose to Thornton. Thornton chips it back up the wall for Ryan Spooner. Spooner sidesteps the Lewis hit, but turns the puck over. Regier rattles it to the far corner. Bartkowski to Trotman, chips it up on glass. Soderberg takes it down, but has to retreat positionally back of the Boston goal line. Soderberg goes after it, gives a bump to Lewis, who loses his edge. Trotman flicks the puck off the board. Spooner picks it up. Spooner goes up the wall with it. It rattles around toward Eriksson. Martinez can't clear the zone. Soderberg after it. Eriksson seals off the boards. Soderberg absorbs the hit from Mitchell, from Lewis. The puck loose against the end boards. Trevor Lewis has it. Flips the backhand up the wall for King, who clears to center. Zdeno Chara dumps it in deep. Just what you would expect from these two teams. A 1-goal game in the third period. The price for touching the puck is that you get hit, regardless of your size. Bergeron tries to fire it through Fraser. Can't get it there. Second effort down into the corner. Now it's Marchand holding away from Doughty. Marchand spins to the forehand, looking for Smith to back up. He whiffs on it. Gets it to Boychuk. He grinds it off and hammers it just wide of the post. Marchand, the quick flip to Bergeron, takes it into the skates of Marchand. Fraser backhands it off glass. Krug can't handle it, and it comes to center. Clifford muscles it through. Boychuk pins him to the wall with a brilliant hip check. Nolan goes down with the puck underneath. Bergeron angles in on Clifford. Nolan gets the puck back to the corner. Krug hits Clifford from behind. He goes down on his knees along the boards.
Bruins doing a nice job. If they don't have a clean breakout, they're still winning board battles and having the patience to reverse the puck, start again, slow it down, but be methodical if the quick up isn't there.
Kopitar draws the puck back and finds Dustin Brown. Brown working the off wing against Chara. Chara lines him up. Brown absorbs the hit and opens it up for Carter. The wrist shot. Voinov goes off Iginla's skates. Miller. Iginla under pressure from Voinov loses an edge. Voinov back to Carter, but he took his eye off it and the puck gets under his stick. Mitchell in front of the penalty bench. Spins it cross corner. LA changing out again. Already 5 minutes gone in the third period. David Krejci couldn't control Chara's outlet pass. Here's Mike Richards on the pirouette. Gives it to Williams. The backhand right through the crease. Nobody home. Lucci turns it up the wall. Iginla going 1 against 5. You saw LA just surround Iginla, but he gets the puck to the end board. Here's Campbell in front. And a save by Quick. Back come the Kings. It's 4-on-2 across. Williams holding, looking for Doughty. The shot hammers flat off the end boards. The puck up on edge, and Doughty tags it. Richards through Fratton all the way back to center.
A big-time stop by Jonathan Quick. Campbell replacing Krejci. Krejci just going for the line change, but Iginla and Lucic pursued the play into the offensive zone.
Matt Bartkowski off a stick. Campbell can't pick it up. Muzzin the quick up. King. Stoll working the off wing. Gets underneath. Trotman uses the big shoulders on him. Trevor Lewis tangled up with Bartkowski, who flips past King to Paille. Stoll's check, rattles the puck loose to King. Stoll gets the return pass, throws it in front, and Johnson has to cover as the puck bounces down off Bartkowski's body. Gregory Campbell, his third great chance in a couple of days. Jonathan Quick with a huge save to keep it 2-1 Boston. The Audi Performance Play brought to you by your local New England Audi dealers. Experience Audi Quattro all-wheel drive today.
Torrey Krug on the receiving end of a lot of body contact, perhaps targeted by the LA Kings to be real hard on him, slow him down, don't let him play his offensive game. And sometimes it's not an eye for an eye, Jack. You can respond in a different way. Torrey Krug with a power play goal gave the Bruins a 2-0 lead after being on the receiving end of a couple of heavy hits.
Lewis the wraparound, and then on the rebound he chops it over the crossbar. Patrice Bergeron works the puck forward up to the red line. Off Muzzin's skate, and Eriksson's over the attacking line. And now Krug hops on as Bergeron is tied up on the LA bench. I was following the puck. I can't identify the King who's underneath. Black sweater number 37, but Bergeron has some pretty good leverage on him.
Yeah, Stoll, Jared Stoll. They lock up in the neutral zone. Little exchange between these two guys. They've had some good battles in the face-off dot. Relatively the same size in terms of height, weight. Both bring a high compete level. Bergeron doing his job once again, getting that puck into the offensive zone. And even though it was offside, behind the play was a little battle between a couple of real competitive players.
2 apiece. So they both go for roughing. Stoll, by the way, in the season series, 30-10 on faceoffs in these 2 games. Nothing personal, just, just roughing it up along the boards a little bit. 4-on-4 goal differential. The Bruins are +5, tied with Montreal for the best mark in the league. LA, no slouch, tied for third at +3. Justin Williams, Andrei Kopitar, Drew Doughty, who seems to have been out there about 3/4 of the time this afternoon, and Jake Muzzin. Krejci and Lucic up front. Chara and Boychuk will be the defensive pair.
Los Angeles penalty number 28, Jared Stoll. Boston penalty number 37, Patrice Bergeron.
Doughty surveys the sheet of ice in front of him. Flips it off the boards past Muzzin. Boychuk spins it forward to Lucic. He wants to leave it off for Krejci, but good back-checking pressure by Kopitar. Krejci gets it through to Lucic. Lucic bangs with Muzzin. Muzzin one-hands it off the boards, and Krejci sends it in deep. Doughty holds. Behind Williams, Lucic chops on the puck. No option in front, though, so he goes back to Chara. Boychuk can load it up from the dot. But there comes Muzzin. The puck would not sit flat for Johnny Boychuk. A lot of energy in it. Delayed call coming here against the Bruins, so it'll be 4 against 3. Kopitar throws it right in on Johnson. And is it Chara they're signaling to?
Well, I'm not sure because it appeared to be away from the play. No, they're going to give it to Boychuk, I believe.
I saw him signaling down toward the end of the bench where the defensemen sit for the Bruins.
Yeah, Boychuk walked in from that right point. It might have been one of those situations, Jack, where it's just too much time. After Lucic wins the battle for the loose puck, gets it back to Chara. Chara goes D to Boychuk, and Boychuk walked in. And then on the back check, just that little bit of stick under the arm warrants a hooking call. You can see Johnny Boychuk shaking his head understandably. And now a 4-on-3 opportunity here with under 13 to go in regulation with the Bruins up by a goal.
And 4-on-3, although it's a rarely seen situation, LA best 4-on-3 goal differential in the league at +3. Richards' drive sails high off the end boards, and Doughty controls it. Doughty closes. Richards has Kopitar on the right and Carter right in front with the golden hands. Richards shot, and there's Carter's tip. The rebound comes back off the apron of the goal. Chara off the glass, up and out, and it is quickly ruled a deflection by the linesman.
Well, Carter will work the top of the blue paint and allow Richards, Doughty, and Kopitar to try to get into that umbrella, high triangle, however you want to describe it. And when they think they have an opportunity for a shot on goal with Carter and the good hand-eye coordination and the chance for rebounds with his strength and quick release right around the net is part of their arsenal with the man advantage in this 4-on-3.
Chara spins it the length of the rink. If you're wondering why Patrice Bergeron isn't on this penalty kill, it's because he's in the box. Kopitar working Chara's side. Chara knocks him down. Kopitar spins around, the puck along the wall. Miller trying to stay on his skates in a lot of traffic. Chara, it's a 5-car pileup. Doughty goes in there. Miller finds an opening and muscles it the length of the rink.
Continues to impress Kevin Miller. He's pretty explosive once he gets that first stride to get separation. He knows how to cut away from pressure and make a heads-up play.
Richards feathering the puck outside, brings it cross ice. Kopitar to Doughty to Carter. He scores! It's a 5-on-4 goal as Stoll and Bergeron just had exited the box. LA has come from 2 down to tie it in the third.
Tough break for Boston. Carter the one-timer. If it's between the pipes, he's got a good chance of going in because he can really pound the puck. But the quick counterattack by the Kings, they want to get right back into the offensive zone. Nice little delay by Doughty. He's able to find Richards. Richards able to move that puck one side to the other, and then now they set up that one-timer. Doughty, that little fake shot. And now the one-timer Carter with Bartkowski perhaps is a little bit of a screen on Johnson. Able to beat Johnson towards that blocker side. Tied at 2.
Johnny Boychuk wrists it all the way around. Marchand takes the hit from Martinez. Bergeron spoons it into the end board. Stoll working over Marchand there. The puck squirts to the corner. Marchand to Bergeron trying to get away from Martinez. It does. Smith for Marchand. He scores! 18 seconds and bam! The Bruins are back on top. What a response.
Win a face-off in the neutral zone after the game was just tied on a power play. Get the puck in, establish your forecheck. The Bruins' hottest line has recaptured the lead. Love the one-on-one battle that went on between Stoll and Marchand. This is one of those in-your-face type of goals by Marchand. He got enough separation, Jack. Find the seam, create the seam. Don't get locked up with Stoll. Stoll's just kind of playing a zone right there, not in close enough man-to-man coverage, because Marchand finds a seam a little further away from the net. And all in one motion, that quick release on the feed from Riley Smith after Bergeron made the play from below the goal line.
Krug drives it. It sails over the glove side of Jonathan Quick. Voinov flips the puck to King in the corner. King lugs it to the blue line and slides it all the way down to Chad Johnson. He bunts it out to center. It's under Lucic's backhand. Voinov into a crowd of skates.
Boston goal scored by number 16.
That is the quickest answer for the Bruins to an opponent's goal all season long, topping the 28-second turnaround they had against Detroit back on the 27th of November. Marchand scoring his second of the game, his 16th of the season, and staying on a wicked hot streak. 18 seconds after Carter's power play goal had put LA ahead, or at least had pulled LA into a tie. Fraser on the end boards. Eriksson tosses the backhand up the boards. Muzzin knocks it down. Fraser waiting for the puck. Bartkowski wraps him up. Bartkowski holding the loose arm free to say, I can't help it, he's got my stick. Doughty, the quick shovel, and then he takes off as Fraser rotates. Muzzin's drive goes wide. Nolan on the far side couldn't angle the backhand inside the post. Drottman working over. Nolan, here's Doughty's blast into a couple of bodies in front. Erickson can't clear the zone. Soderberg caves in. Fraser. Doughty scooting around. All the way forward to the goal line. Snaps it back to Muzzin. Muzzin risks it toward goal. It's loose in the crease. Still loose. Trotman finds it. Whacks it to the near side. Excellent zone time for LA, setting up camp in the Boston end of the ice. Clifford working his way against Krejci. Fresh legs on the ice for the Kings. Eriksson's stick shatters as Muzzin knocks the puck cross corner. Trotman up ahead to Soderberg. Martinez pinching down. Clifford on the rotation to seal off the boards. The Bruins in a torture chamber in their own end of the ice right now. The talented Kopitar wheels it back to Martinez. The wrist shot off Soderberg. The Bruins pretty tired out there. Soderberg gets it up to the red line. Boston in need of a change.
Trench warfare right now, and the Kings trying to bring it down by a goal.
Kopitar over the Boston line. Bergeron turns it back. Mitchell into the center circle. Martinez lobs the backhand in. Long way to go in this game, more than 8 minutes in a one-goal game. LA coming from 0-2 down in the first to tie it 2-2 in the third. Voinov working over Marchand and riding that pony, and Marchand has a pretty good grab on him down there as the puck comes to the Bruins end of the ice. And we get a stoppage.
Icing.
For icing against LA.
Saturday afternoon at 12:30, join Dale, Billy, and Gord when WB Mason presents Bruins Face Off Live. They'll preview the matchup in Philly, take a look at the Czech Republic's chances in Sochi, and have all the stories behind the headlines in the NHL hat trick. Get ready for the game with NESN Saturday at 12:30.
What a tremendous hockey game this afternoon. Richards and Campbell. Richards wins the draw back to Slava Voinov. Justin Williams can't get the puck through. Thornton, who tries to send Paille ahead. The penetration, Voinov to Williams, cuts back, shoots, the save by Johnson, the rebound, Campbell, but Richards has it. Muzzin's bomb, here's Williams backing, scooting the wraparound attempt, but the Bruins block the post. Muzzin's wrist shot off the diving Thornton. Listen to the crowd's appreciation. Jeff Carter with his 19th of the season, but 18 seconds later, Brad Marchand, his second of the game, and his 16th of the year. Bruins up 3-2, third. The Amica Coverage Cam presented by Amica Insurance. Great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
The Bruins recapture the lead 3-2, and again, it's Brad Marchand, the hottest Boston Bruin right now. The Bruins get a nice setup right here. That's that triangle formation in the offensive zone. Third man high, Riley Smith. That allows Bergeron and Marchand to do their magic in the offensive zone.
Puck trickles in on quick. Muzzin cuts it off in the slot. Fratton takes the outlet. A big hit by Lucic on Jake Muzzin, who makes sure that all the eggs are still in the basket. I'm not sure they're not scrambled. Mitchell holds it along the boards, taps down to Richards, throws it across the front for Doughty, sneaking in the weak side. The puck all the way to the far boards. Lucic losing his stick in the exchange. Here's Doughty trickling it down the slot. Krug to Lucic, who's picked up the lumber. It's 3-on-2 for Boston up the ice. Lucic cuts back over the line. It's off Mitchell's stick as Lucic tried to thread it through to Krejci. Zach Trotman banks the pass for Iginla. Mitchell inside the LA line. Slava Voinov under 7 minutes to go. Trotman gloves it down and hacks it out. Slava Voinov feeds Robin Regehr. Dwight King into the zone past Trotman. Lewis scooting it on the backhand. Bartkowski goes through Stoll to go to the corner. Stoll goes in and attacks the puck. Bartkowski up to the line, and it tumbles past Voinov's stick. Regehr the quick up. Stoll knocks it down, but it drops at Spooner's skates. Spooner gets around Voinov's hit at the blue line. Regier scrapes it to Lewis. Lewis looks north and south, now has to come east and west for Dwight King. Miller back after it, can't chop it around. King goes for a tumble over Miller's skates. Marchand has some room in the defensive zone, less than 6 minutes to go. The saucer pass hops once right to Riley Smith. He tries to get it cross corner but can't. Alec Martinez intercepts and gives to Colin Fraser. Off the boards, Smith reaching for the puck. Clifford muscles it into the Boston end. Miller has it up ahead for Smith. Smith past Mitchell and he swims around the body check. Mitchell catches on glass. Martinez back up the boards. Mitchell to Clifford. Off the glass. And icing or offside? Icing it is against LA, and the face-off back to the Kings' end.
Just to finish,
now, where were we?
Yeah, just to finish off, after the Bruins get in a nice triangle formation with Riley Smith the third man high, now you have the rotation and the one-on-one battles. We talked to Jeff Ward. Who's going to win the battles in the trenches? Stoll's in coverage with Marchand, but Marchand very wisely gets separation over here. And what does that do? It opens up this passing lane right there. And he's able to finish it off on a quick release one-timer.
Krejci and Fraser on the face-off. Fraser goes down onto his gloves and Krejci shaves him. Miller's one-timer rattles off Fraser's leg. Nolan on the far side. Curls back to the middle of the defensive zone. Wrists it right to Fraser's tape. He sends it off the right wing boards. Clifford following up and wipes out as he tried to hit Chara. LA with fresh legs on the ice. It's the Kopitar line. Miller, the long pass for Lucic, horizontally along the line. Miller's wrist shot in on quick. It pops loose. It's behind him. Kopitar gets it out. Miller to Chara. Uh-oh. The blast off of quick. Still a scramble. Chara could have killed somebody with that one. But here comes Carter busting around Chara. Saved by Johnson. Chad Johnson with his save of the game. Carter was in alone and had a chance to tie it. Doughty with a great hip check on Lucic. Up and down the ice they go. Kopitar drops it up. What a hit by Bergeron. And Brown goes head over tea kettle. Here comes Marchand down into the corner as the battle is joined. These two teams at full throttle. Bergeron knocking the pass loose. Kopitar shovels it over to Brown. Brown on the off wing against Boychuk. Off the corner boards, Johnson. It's loose near the post. Johnson tries to pin it in. And it's a face-off in the Boston zone. Matha, the bond's on fire. 3:57 to go. Boston up 3-2.
Opportunities at both ends. The Bruins with Kevin Miller twice getting the puck in the offensive end. The first shot deflected up high. Iginla in a battle. Krejci there as well. That puck comes back out in the direction of Kevin Miller. He's got a decision to make. Tee one up. Will he try to feed it to Chara for maybe a better opportunity? They get knocked down, and then Jeff Carter, a little chip and chase. Able to get to that loose puck. Around the face-off draw. Try to sneak one short side. Johnson robbed him.
Fratton. Doughty wrists the puck in deep. Miller up the boards. A good read by Richards. Past the hash marks to Williams. Goes right to the post with it. Richards taps to Williams. Williams backhand to Doughty. Doughty wrists it into Marchand. Marchand takes a baseball swing at it. Gets it to the blue line, but not out. LA with tremendous zone time. Muzzin recovers from the stumble. Wrists it. Double deflection. It hits Johnson, who makes a positional save and goes over. Chara off a skate. Second effort up in Marchand's face, literally. Chara off the glass. Marchand chips it forward, not out. The extra effort from Bergeron sweeps it clear. Muzzin charges right back into the Boston zone with it. Riley Smith reaches and backhands it out to center.
Riley Smith still on the strong side, meaning where the puck is. He needed to stay longer than his line mates. And it's a good thing he was there to chip that puck out.
Louis Erickson as LA just had a change in both. Lewis and Mitchell skated past the puck. Campbell in pursuit goes face first into the end boards. He's okay. He gets up. Here's Voinov, a great skater. Comes into the zone and flips the backhand into the corner. Bartkowski has position, but he has Lewis facing him from the other side. Boychuk tries to stab it out of their skates. Paille in there. The clock running under 2.5 minutes to go. Dwight King tries to add his muscle to the equation. The puck's still along the kick plate, and King finds it. Here's Mitchell. Off of Eriksson's stick, and Eriksson does the defensive work to get it clear. Eriksson holds it in front of the penalty bench and rips Mitchell's stick out of his hands to get it in. 2 minutes to go. Quick looks to Daryl Sutter on the LA bench. Jeff Carter dangles around Iginla. The shot off Chara's legs. Carter goes for a tumble. He's underneath Lucic on the far side. Brown off of Miller's stick. Miller decks Brown! A tremendous leveraged hit by Kevin Miller, and down goes Brown! But the puck's still in the Boston zone. It's up over the glass. We have seen quality hitting throughout tonight.
Two real good hits defensively by Boston. The first one, Lucic on Carter on the back check. That happened on one side of the ice, and then this body contact right here. Kevin Miller, inside position, leverage within the rules, two bodies trying to get to a loose puck. That's a 50-50. Good body contact. Second time that Miller's gotten the better of Brown. The other one was in the neutral zone on that high lob in the center ice.
Jake Muzzin to Drew Doughty. It hops over Williams. His stick, he fires it toward goal. Boychuk with the palm of the glove now pins in Richards. Marchand snaps it out to the center circle.
An interesting set play by the Kings off that faceoff win in the offensive zone.
Fratton to Williams, quick still in his goal. Williams all the way to the corner. Boychuk around for Marchand. Marchand can't get it up the boards and out. Muzzin's shot off the leg, comes right back to Muzzin. Richards holds it at the line. The puck's spinning. Hammers it off Marchand into the final minute. The Bruins trying to hold on to a one-goal lead. Smith can't get it past Muzzin, who's been a rock at the blue line. Here goes Quick to the LA bench. Marchand tries to tap it around and gets interfered with as he gets taken down on the hip check by Muzzin, and Marchand looks like he might have a Charlie horse as Muzzin extended the hip and caught Marchand right across the thigh. Tripping, they call it.
Board battles again, and the Kings, desperate times, down by a goal. Muzzin kept the puck in 2 or 3 times, but then the work by Marchand, able to chip this puck off the wall and by him, leg extended. Good thing Marchand got himself back up. You don't like to see contact like that. Injuries can result. But now Quick has to come back in goal. The Bruins on the power play. Under 45 seconds to go in regulation. Face-off in the offensive end.
On the other hand, if LA, which has been pretty good at the face-off dot, wins the face-off, they can fly somebody. Sure. They're killing a penalty. There is no icing. And Jeff Carter's out there right now. Kopitar to take the draw. Voinov and Mitchell, the defensive pair.
Los Angeles penalty.
Voinov turns his goal. Iginla harassing him. Voinov skates it up and Lucic angles him off. Iginla just wants to get the puck deep, so Quick has to stay put. Now Quick comes out. It's 5 against 5. Kopitar's shot blocker saved by Johnson. Carter in front, but Johnson blocks it back to the corner. Mitchell with 25 seconds to go. Carter in front, nobody home. Lucic draws it back ahead of Krejci off the boards. Mitchell controls. Krejci hunting the puck, trying to delay LA up ice. Kopitar with the net empty. Kopitar's shot goes off Miller's stick to the far corner. Carter spins it in deep. Kopitar in the final 10 seconds. Feathers it in front, it's loose. Lucic gets a stick on it before Carter can, and the clock runs out. Chad Johnson with a huge save on Carter late in the game. The Bruins find a way, answering after LA had come back to tie it on Marchand's second of the day. Just 18 seconds later, 3-2 Boston, the final.
Well, the Bruins knew the importance of getting the lead in this hockey game. Out in Los Angeles, they got behind 3-0. Too big a hole to dig out of, even though they played a pretty good second half of that game. This afternoon, able to establish a 2-goal lead, a power play goal, a shorthanded goal, special teams with their fingerprints all over this victory. But again, Brad Marchand leading the way for the Boston Bruins. Yes, Chad Johnson was outstanding. by Marchand with 2 more goals, and the effectiveness of the Bergeron line critical in this victory here against the Kings.
All 3 of those players on the Bergeron line now have 3-game scoring streaks going, led by Marchand with 4 goals and an assist in those 3 games. Save of the Game brought to you by Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Well, here it is. Jeff Carter speeding toward goal, picking his corner, but Chad Johnson, access denied. 3-2 Boston the final. And consider, that the Denny Potvin principle, where defensemen need 200 games individually really to know the league inside out. Add up the experience through today of Miller, Trotman, Bartkowski, and Krug. It's 124 combined. Pretty good coaching job on the fly by the Bruins staff, wouldn't you say, Dale?
Absolutely right, Jack, and a great afternoon here at the TD Garden. The Bruins take 3 points in a back-to-back battle with Western Conference teams. Coming up on Ace Ticket Bruins Overtime Live, we'll get reaction from the Bruins dressing room as you see the game's first star, Brad Marchand. Claude Julien will go one-on-one with Jamie Erdahl, and we'll preview Saturday afternoon's matinee against the Philadelphia Flyers. Ace Ticket Bruins Overtime Live coming up next.